Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is John with Flippin' Ain't Easy, and haven't been making too many videos lately, and I've been so busy between finally getting over being ill for a number of weeks that kind of lingered, just the drive to make videos and do my business, which you guys know my business on eBay is first, and then the videos come second. That's the way it's always going to be. I'm an eBayer before a YouTuber type of guy. As you see in the title, I've had a kind of a weird situation. So a few days ago, I received this certified letter, and generally, when you get a certified letter, you don't want you don't want it. Okay, it's not usually good news. And we open it up because I'm wondering what's going on. Does this have to do with that whole fraternity thing that's been sending me, you know, who knows what? You guys know the story where I was getting just all kinds of crazy stuff coming back from a fraudulent purchase, but that's a different video for a different day because that's not what this was about. Received this letter, okay? And I don't know if you guys have ever received anything like this, which is why I'm bringing it to you, because I thought it was just very, very strange. And it says, Dear John, this letter is to inform you that the United States Postal Service is unable to deliver your mail piece to its final destination, and your immediate assistance is required to resolve the matter. The mail piece that was mailed to you, and it gives the buyer's name and address, via USPS is being held at Fort Wayne, that's Indiana. The mail piece is being held because it does not comply with USPS mailing standards. Now, this item that I sold, it is a Kenmore power nozzle for canister vacuum cleaners. It's one of those, just the nozzle head. And it's sold for like 40 some odd bucks plus shipping. And we shipped it by Ground Advantage, and we boxed it up. It actually came in a, probably like a 14 by 10 by 6 box. And we bubble wrapped it really well, and we used the paper tape. Looked great. So the idea that this package does not comply with mailing standards just doesn't make any sense to me, and is just wrong. But I'll continue. It says, please contact the Postal Service within 2 business days of receipt of this letter by telephone or email via the information provided the signature area below to discuss the following options. And so the options they gave me was either, it says, you or your representative with your written authorization may either correct any deficiencies or retrieve the mail piece at Fort Wayne, Indiana. Now, I'm in Vegas. I ain't in Fort Wayne. I have no buddy that's going to do that for me. Then it says, the other option, provide written authorization for the Postal Service to dispose of the mail piece with the understanding you may be liable for any expenses associated with the disposal. Now, that ain't an option. Certainly not going to dispose of an item that's bound to a third party who has nothing to do with this. And that's opening up a huge can of worms for myself, because not only are they saying I'd have to pay for the service to have it disposed, but of course I have to give a full refund to my buyer. So no. I know that this box was in great condition when it was picked up. There's scans along the way between Vegas and Chicago, or that processing center somewhere in Illinois. Something happened, and there was about a week and a half delay between the last scan and me getting this certified letter. It goes on to say, if your decision is to correct any deficiencies or to retrieve the mail piece, please schedule an appointment to be sure to bring a United States government issued photo ID. If your decision is to authorize the Postal Service to dispose of the mail piece, you'll need to provide a letter of consent for the disposal. The letter must contain your signature along with the statement of consent to open the mail piece and authorizing the disposal. So, of course, there's an email address, a phone number. I tried to call this phone number, no answer. And I left an email, and they got back to me and said that the buyer actually picked it up. So that's the good news. Now, the twist of this, I want to know if you guys ever received this before. Now, thankfully, the buyer received one of these as well. So I've never heard of the U.S. Postal Service doing this kind of thing. So they picked it up, and apparently something leaked on the box and got inside the box somehow. And they said that the item is okay. This is the buyer telling me the item is okay, however, it has a weird smell to it. Now, the twist is they want to return it because it doesn't fit their vacuum. Well, that's not, has nothing to do with this situation. That would have been a return anyway. Told them to go ahead and open a return. We do offer 30-day returns. And so that's kind of that. And we'll see what this thing looks like if they open the return and they send it back. Now, it kind of makes me wonder, because I had reached out to the person that sent this certified letter, and I said, can you at least tell me what happened to the package? You know, their one sentence response saying that someone picked it up. Well, that's fine. I'm glad that happened. But what's going on with this? And they admitted in writing in the email that another package leaked on this package. So if I get this thing back and there's something just funky about it, is that maybe something that USPS would entertain a claim on? Because if there's some kind of weird smell or damage, I'm not going to pass it on to the next customer. I may just eat it and not sell it and just take a loss on it if it's that bad. I mean, bad enough to get a certified letter. I've never seen anything like that. I've seen where the package was in a state of where it couldn't be delivered, and or they send a message or a letter, not a certified letter, but just a letter saying that we're sorry we damaged your item, kind of thing, or an item's arrived in a poly mailer saying sorry, you know, we mishandled your package. But nothing like a certified letter where you're kind of worried like what's going on here. So I wonder if you guys have seen something like that. Now, the other thing I wanted to bring up is, and I wonder if you guys have dealt with this kind of buyer before. We sold a PlayStation 2 many, many weeks ago at the beginning of March, actually maybe the end of February, and buyer bought the console for like $190 plus shipping. So we shipped it out no problem and heard nothing. That's a great sign. As a seller, you don't want to hear anything from a buyer or anything. You just want to assume that the transaction went well. But we got a package at the door last week, and I had no idea what it was because I wasn't expecting a return for that size of a package. And so I opened it and I'm like, why is the PlayStation, why was it returned? So I go in and check the tracking number, and the tracking shows that this item was sent to Mississippi, and it arrived like on the 1st of March, and apparently they had a snowstorm. I don't know. I mean, snowstorm, March, Mississippi, I guess. And it said that they made an attempt to deliver, but they couldn't deliver it. So they tried again on the 3rd. Nobody was there. And then they tried again on the 4th. And then they ended up sending it back to the facility, the FedEx facility, and they put a hold on it for the buyer. They waited for about 10 days before they sent it back to me. So when that happens, of course, I did my part as a seller. I provided the address that the buyer provided to the T. Didn't change a thing about it. And I send the buyer a message and I say, I got your package back. It was undeliverable. You have two options at this point. The $31 that they spent for FedEx ground, you're welcome to pay it again. And at that point, we'll send it out to this address or a different address if you desire. Or I can give you a refund, and it'll be for the item, not the original shipping, because that amount was used for the label, which it's not refundable to me. FedEx does not refund when they are unable to deliver. They attempted to provide the service, and the address or the people weren't there and weren't available to collect the item. So I'd say about a day goes by, and I get a message saying, "Why do I have to pay for shipping?" And then they followed up saying, "Just go ahead and refund me, but I shouldn't have to eat the shipping. That's your responsibility to get the package to me. And so you're covered under seller protection. And this is something that I confirmed with not one but two representatives. As far as the seller protection policy, if the carrier loads the item on the truck and it goes out for delivery, that item is considered a delivery attempt. Now, it does state on the second attempt that they did make an attempt to deliver and nobody was there. I don't know why they didn't leave the package. I didn't have signature required on the thing. So I did have, like, of course, insurance on it. It was about $190. So of course I'm going to add the additional value to insure it, but that won't stop FedEx from leaving it. So maybe the weather was still bad and it wasn't in a good location for them to leave the package. I have no idea, because normally they'll just leave the package, right? So here we are. This guy's, he finally opens up, and he opens up an item not received case. And of course, there's no need to do that because the tracking shows it was returned back to me. And he states in his message, one of many messages, by the way, that, oh, I opened this case. That way, it'll give eBay time to figure out what they're going to do for me. Now, for me, it's like, okay, I refunded you the money, didn't refund the original shipping. It's out of my hands at this point. You know, he wants to debate semantics and what ifs and, you know, why did you handle this way? Why can't you change your mind? And after about he sent like 10 messages. I said, why do you keep messaging me for? I said, I contacted eBay. This is exactly what they told me. It falls in line with the seller protection policy. And you just need to do what you're going to have to do, which you may need to reach out to eBay, but I can't help you. And so we're kind of still stuck in this limbo where this item not received case is still open. I've been reassured, and I had a U.S. agent, by the way, a Colombian agent and a U.S. agent. And I've reported the buyer for, you know, all these crazy messages that they're sending me. And any negative is going to get removed. They decide to leave a negative about it because I've done nothing wrong. This situation is out of my control, unfortunately. Act of God happens with weather, if that's why this package wasn't delivered. But that's on the buyer. The one thing also, that entire 3.5 week period, the buyer never reached out saying, hey, where's my package? You know, because we could have explored it together and I would have been able to tell the buyer, hey, you might want to call FedEx. It looks like they have it on hold. That option wasn't given to me. And I jumped out in front of it as soon as I received this package to let this buyer know so they can kind of work with me. But they wanted to get kind of crazy about it. So I just gave them the refund minus the original shipping, because I shouldn't have to eat $31 out of my pocket because of a buyer who just doesn't want to take responsibility for providing me with a good delivery address. So what are your thoughts on that as well? So two things going on: the certified letter and the current package that I received back that was undeliverable, and we're now dealing with an item not received case that hopefully should be closed by eBay in the next few days. And I'll try to give you an update on that on the live. If you guys check out the live stream on Mondays and Fridays, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And a lot of good spirited conversations going on in the live stream. Hopefully you guys will be there and be a part of it. And I'm going to be putting out more videos as just time permits. I've been really keeping myself busy, and between renovating some things here in the garage and just working my tail off, unfortunately, YouTube tends to take a back seat when that happens. And I apologize to you guys for that. But trying to make all these things work, juggling YouTube, eBay, these certified letters, and crazy item not received cases is yet another example of how flipping ain't easy. I want you guys to have an excellent rest of your week. We will talk to you very soon. Take care, everyone.